Well, welcome back to the garage, everyone. So, as you know, during the last video, we found that the plastic clips on this lower door cladding, most of them are gone or broken. So that means we're going to be taking off this lower cladding to replace those clips. The new clips will be in a few days, and I'm noticing right away some issues. For some reason, this piece of chrome trim is moved down this way. It's slid to the left. I'm not sure what's going on with that. And down here you can see it's slid to the left there as well. Also noticing this passenger door may need a hinge adjustment as well. It seems to be sagging a little bit, so that is something else we're going to have to address with this door. But for right now, I'm going to get my little pry tool out and see if I can get this cladding off of this car. It should be fairly straightforward since the door panel has already been removed. All right, we're going to do this by the book. According to the factory service manual, part A is how to remove the little section on the fender. And then part B is how to remove the part on the door. And the first step on removal of this section on the door is to go back to section A and perform that one. So to get this off, you've got to take this off because this has to slide back and forth a little bit, and this is going to get in the way. So first up, what you're going to do is slip something, maybe something wooden or a very forgiving pry tool up underneath the bottom of this and pry it out of the clips. So there are 3 clips at the bottom, okay? Now the holes at the top are kind of sliding holes. So what you're going to do is you're going to pry the bottom out like this, and then once you have that pulled loose, then you take the entire panel and slide it downward and away from the car, which you get a 2-line procedure. Unclip paneling below, and then pull paneling downwards and disconnect at top. All right, I don't have the proper tool, but I am going to use this little door clip pry bar with a dirty rag over the top of it, and we're going to slip it up in here and pry the bottom of this cladding loose from the car. All right, I'm not going to lie to you, that was not exactly straightforward and simple, but I was able to pry these 3 away from the car. Now they are under a lot of tension, and it looks like our top one has already started to come loose. So this whole thing is supposed to slide downward like that. There we go. And oh, look at that. It just falls right off of the car. So, okay, so our top clips are in good condition. Of course, none of these clips actually came out like they're supposed to. They stayed in the car. I ordered new ones, so they'll be coming in a few days. But, all right, that's what that looks like. Pretty gnarly. But the whole purpose of taking that off was so that we can get this off, according to the service manual, that is, because this section has to slide this way in order to facilitate getting it off the car. And yes, we're gonna clean this up. So, all right, the next step is to uncover this bit of weather stripping because there's a hole right there, and you can slip a screwdriver in there. And if you stick your hand way back here, you can feel that there is a screw. Actually, no, there isn't. The instructions say pull out the ceiling frame in range of fastening screw and unscrew the nut. So there's a threaded shaft that comes through the molding into the inside of the door, and you would slip a nut driver through this hole here if in fact the nut existed. And you hear that rattle? Yeah, there's not a nut on there. So that step we don't have to do. But when we reinstall, we'll put a new nut on it. All right, so next step. Unclip paneling at top. From the rear in the forward direction, Okay, so we're going to start unclipping the paneling at the top. Rear, we're going to start here and go that way along the top. So it says unclip paneling at top from the rear in forward direction. Paneling is hung up at the front top. Okay, so that means there is a metal clip down here, right in there somewhere. So when you can get down to about right here with the plastic stuff, but you got to stop because there's a metal one right there. And then after that step, it says unclip paneling below at the bottom, which mostly is already done because they didn't do it right to begin with, from the front toward the rear. So we're going to start there. If it was in fact attached, you know, we'd worry about that. So you would start here and start popping it out this way, and you would stop about right here because there's a metal clip in this corner, and there's a metal clip in that corner. So now, once you get all that stuff unclipped, it says slip paneling forward and disengage below at rear. So once we get all these clips undone, you will disengage the one down here by moving the panel forward, and then you'll take this and you'll pull this corner out a little bit. Lastly, you'll pull the panel towards the rear and disengage the clip at the front top. So then you're going to pull it this way and disengage this clip. And then after that, you can pull it off of the car. So that sounds like a convoluted mess, but I'm going to put all these directions in the description of the video. So let's get busy here. Since I already have the door panel off, I'm going to use a long punch like this and a small hammer. And I'm going to tap these out from the inside instead of trying to use a pry bar. At least I'm going to do these. I've already done this one. The one back there was not connected. You can't see it, but there was a threaded shaft. I've already poked it through. There's another one back in there. I think maybe I can get to it with my punch. But anyway, I'm going to punch these out from the inside out, make things a little easier. All right, so that step where it told you to remove that nut, there's the threaded shaft where that was talking about. It went through that hole right there, that top hole. And here is the left-hand clip, and here is the right-hand clip. When the instructions indicated that you should slide the panel forward like this, you disengage that clip right there, and then you pull the bottom away from the car. And then to disengage this one, you pull the panel to the left to disengage that clip. But you have to be careful because you see that little part sticking up on the left-hand side? It can engage with the other side of the hole. So there's a sweet spot there. So you got to be aware of that. I have new little plastic clips or doohickeys, whatever you want to call them. It looks like somebody put the wrong kind in there. Look at that. It looks like the wrong kind. And let's get this over here on the workbench. All right, back over here on the workbench. So, like I said, I've got the little clips. They're not clips. They're an anchor, I guess you would say. I've got these on order. They'll be in a few days. So the top is a little bit different. You've got a stainless steel strip up here. And I initially thought that this was over to the left too far, but the strip has, let's see what they've done here. What have they done? Oh, I take that back. Okay, it looks like that threaded shaft is on a movable little base in there, so that can slide back and forth inside this trim. So they just have it in the wrong position, whoever was in this door before me. So when we get this thing back together, we'll make sure that the trim lines up flush with the end there. So what I'm going to do now is going to take a pair of diagonal cutters. I'm not going to tell you what one of my sergeants in the Air Force used to call these things, but you should be able to disengage that. Yeah. If I try to reuse these, they're just going to break. So I'm not going there. We're going to order new ones. All right, so let's see if we can't disengage this. All right, let me trim a little more off that one. Stand by. All right, I'm going to have to work on each one of these and try to gently ease it out of here because I don't want to bend my stainless steel trim. Stand by. All right, we got that piece of trim off there. No big deal. I was able to clip these plastic pegs off and it came right out. Not a huge deal. One thing to note, this piece of stainless steel trim has some grocery store dings in it, and I want to try to clean those up before I put this thing back together. Now you can see them more readily right here. So I'm thinking maybe a rubber mallet and a small piece of wood, tapping in the back here to try to knock some of those out and smooth this out a little bit. I'll try one or two places and see how successful I am, but at bare minimum, I'll go ahead and just polish this thing up and take all these scuffs out of it with maybe some Wenol or some other type of metal polish. So I need to order these plastic clips here. I did not order those. Simply didn't know that I needed them until I got into this thing. On the fender trim, you can see a big dent right there. So we'll need to remove this guy and see if we can't knock that out. And of course, we'll polish this as well. All right, just a quick video on how to remove the lower door cladding on the exterior of your W126 Mercedes. I've got clips on order, got a few more that I've got to order. Those will be in a few days, and we can continue on with the refurbishment and repair of our passenger door. And once we get the passenger door just right, we'll move over to the driver's door. So, hey, listen, I appreciate you guys stopping by my channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to be notified whenever I release a new video, don't forget to click that little bell down below as if you didn't know that already. You guys take it easy and enjoy driving your classic Mercedes.